All right, everyone. I've had so many people asking me about this grand jury bullcrap that the legacy media keeps rambling about. A lot of people seem to think that the fact that a grand jury was convened by Mueller means Trump is going to get impeached or something. Well, yeah, maybe if there's wrongdoing to actually impeach him for. Now, here's the rub. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. In theory, Congress can just remove Trump from power any old time it wants to on trumped up charges without actual evidence of wrongdoing. It's not like a criminal proceeding as you would see it in a court where there's the presumption of innocence and the right to question your accusers and so forth. It's not like that. With removal from office, essentially all they have to do is a simple vote for impeachment and then a more substantial vote for removal. And even though they're supposed to take into consideration only things they can confirm actually happened, like they can confirm there was a crime, they can confirm there was severely unethical wrongdoing, in theory they could just determine they don't like the dude, remove him from office, and give any old excuse they wanted, and there's no actual legal recourse for the president to take to stop that from happening. That being said, at the same time, I don't expect it to happen. I think what we're seeing is that they're casting the net really, really wide. And that most of this does not involve Donald Trump himself. It involves his son, certainly. It certainly involves Flynn. It seems that any other person close to Trump may get caught up. And I think what they're hoping is that they're going to find some sort of paper trail. They know these individuals have perhaps done things that were at least dubious, possibly criminal in some cases. I don't think what Donald Trump Jr. did was criminal. He wasn't an official on the Trump campaign, so that would be on the unethical side. They can't really do anything about that per se. But they can look at these people near to Trump within his family and staff and so forth. And they can gather evidence. And the witch hunt side of it is that there's no actual central reason why they should presume that Trump himself was involved. It does appear to be a witch hunt. But if Trump did nothing wrong, I speculate that they're going to end up having to come out and say that. The grand jury could come out at any time now and say, based on the things that we've seen, based on what data we have available, we don't recommend charges. We think he did nothing wrong. And that's basically, once that happens, which I think it will, that's the end of it. It's all gone. The entire media narrative becomes shot to hell because they can say, well, Flynn did something wrong, Donald Trump Jr. did something wrong, but the big kahuna, Donald Trump himself, we don't find any evidence of wrongdoing. It's going to take more to convince the grand jury that it's a good idea to recommend felony charges against Donald Trump and remove him from office is going to take a little bit of extra evidence. That's a little higher a threshold than some random individual. You're talking about the President of the United States. Additionally, keep this in mind, and it's not something that's supposed to be kept in mind in any legal process, but it is. Instability, fallout, public opinion, things like that. How would it look to the average core Trump fan, some tens of millions of people within this country that voted for him, still support him, and think he's like the God Emperor? What do you think their reaction would be if, on charges that weren't absolutely ironclad, that could be absolutely objectively confirmed, Trump was nonetheless thrown out of office? It would look like a coup. And there are also people involved with finance who are like, oh yeah, maybe Trump's got weird ideas, maybe he is dishonest, but he's been really good for the job market. He's been seemingly really good for the stock market. Consumer confidence is high, and if this happens, that's going to collapse completely. It could cause a recession. It could cause all the markets to collapse. Around the world, it wouldn't even just be the United States. It'd be total chaos. In a way, it would almost be interesting to see what people's overall reaction would be. Would it lead to street violence? Probably. Civil war, I think, would be a little bit out there. Specifically because those that really hate Trump and would be like celebrating at the time, most of them, they don't know how to hold a gun. So I wouldn't be too worried about them. Some people still say, like the Antifa members are like, oh, we're going to anti-right violence, haha, we're going to burn their centers of commerce or something. It's not really going to happen. You can throw rocks if you want to when you get together in a crowd or something, I guess. No, I wouldn't think Trump's going anywhere. I don't think he'll be impeached. If he did, I don't think he'd be removed from office. I think the chance is very low that that happens. I do think, however, they're going to nail Michael Flynn to the wall. I think they're going to try to nail Donald Trump Jr. to the wall. I think in many ways, it's entirely possible because the intelligence community clearly was ordered by Obama to give out intel like candy to different agencies in his last days of office on Trump anyway. Since we can openly speculate that probably happened. I say definitely, but we'll say probably. I think Mueller knows Trump himself is not able to be targeted directly. So they're hoping to denigrate his support, make him look dishonest, make him look corrupt, by going after those around him, who in some cases did do wrong. Michael Flynn made a shitty mistake when he started having those meetings with the Russians. It wasn't illegal. The FBI found it wasn't illegal, but it was a dumb idea during an active campaign. It looks like his involvement with Turkey was more substantial, and that could get him thrown in prison, in all honesty. But that has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You have to prove Trump knew it was going on and or gave his blessing to the idea. What if he went rogue? What if he did it for his own fiscal edification? That doesn't have anything to do with the president. That doesn't have anything to do with Trump. Even his own son. Let's say that your kid does something wrong. Does that automatically mean that you both knew it was going on and or could foretell that it would and were somehow negligent when it did happen? Or that you were yourself responsible? Donald Trump's son is an adult. He's not a minor. If it's a case of a minor did something wrong, yeah, okay, maybe you can argue, oh, bad parent, maybe knew about it, could be criminally liable, or at least, civilly liable. Okay, maybe so. This is an adult we're talking about. Trump is not his own son. They are, in fact, two different people. The threshold for attempting to remove Trump for office is extremely high because his core fans have already made it clear that they're expecting the idea of a coup. Some of these people are conspiracy theorists. I mean, actually out there, not pretending. And then you've got tens of millions of more people who would be very, very upset at the very least if any significant overture was made to remove him from office. Now, the number of people who support him may be smaller than the number of people that fucking despise him. At this point, that's definitely true. I don't think it's his approval at 30%. I think it's higher than that. But the majority don't like Donald Trump. But it would still be dangerous. It could destabilize world markets. It could lead to all sorts of problems within our political system and within society in general. It's not something to be taken lightly. And I don't think Mueller, by the way, if he gets wind of the fact that Trump himself was not directly involved in any wrongdoing, he's not going to continue headhunting after Trump based on very, very mild circumstantial evidence. Even if he doesn't like Trump on some personal or political level, he just hates the dude, wants to get rid of him. He's not likely to go down that route because he doesn't want to spark uproar. And that's probably what would happen. You'd have a lot of... It might backfire too, think of it this way. They might go after Trump based on evidence that's not ironclad. And Trump, because he's good at doing this, then comes out and says, oh, look, they're trying to remove me because I'm actually noble. I'm the one who's trying to do right by you. They've concocted this whole thing. It's a lie. And there will be people who don't even necessarily like Trump that much who will believe it because they hate Congress so much. And they hate the legal system. And they don't trust government. And they remember, oh, yeah, Trump wasn't even in politics until this latest election. That could happen. And then what are they supposed to do? If they impeach him and Trump goes down that route and says, well, this is all a literal witch hunt, it's a coup. That would be a difficult position. Are you still going to get the votes to remove him? Or are they going to shut up and then look ineffectual and piss off the left? Either way, somebody gets really, 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 really pissed. Not a good place to be. That's about all. Peace out.